So this is what near perfection looks like. I've been wondering.
All right!
And we're back, AdventureBlur here, to finally talk about Animal Crossing Switch. Or Animal Crossing New Horizon, that's what it's called, right? I'm about to check one more time. Yeah, New Horizons. But yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons, we finally got a name, gameplay, and release date. And there's a lot to talk about. Like, it's like a minute and 30-second trailer, but there is a surprising good amount to talk about. So let's get started. Really, I don't even know where to begin with this. I guess I'm just gonna like go off the top of my head. Like it's been a crazy couple of days for me, so like I'm kind of a little out of it. And also now this Animal Crossing news and also just E3 in general. I'm still trying to comprehend the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. But yeah, I guess I'll just go whatever comes to my mind. So like we're on an island now. I'm happy. I did not think I would be happy with the concept of Animal Crossing on an island completely, but this works surprisingly. I've only watched the trailer like 2 or 3 times, but on an island, not what I expected. Because like in other Animal Crossing games, in New Leaf and in the original game, the island was just somewhere you can go to outside of your main town. So I wonder if the island, if the like roles are reversed, will you be able to go to the city still? And that will be like going to the island like in the older games, but instead of going to the island, we're going to the city. Instead of going back to our towns, we're going back to our island. We're going to be able to put stuff out like on the beach. That's completely new, which is really nice because those critique a lot of people had with New Leaf. I had some issues with there once in a while, but like overall I never had much problem with that. But a lot of people wanted to be able to build and make stuff and put stuff out on the beach of their towns, and they weren't allowed to. So I'm glad they are finally giving us a chance to go all out with it. And not just that, but it looks like we're going to be able to put out furniture like anywhere. Kind of like how in Happy Home Designer, I think it was, that when you're building like the houses and all that for your villagers, you can actually put like furniture outside. I really feel like that was like testing the waters for this game. Like a lot of stuff like that. So I'm happy. I'm glad that they're doing that. That to me is really great. Really happy with that. We don't really get to see much of the villagers or their houses. We got like a little bit of a taste of it, but not much. But yeah, one thing that I am super happy about is that little pole that the villager used to go over the water, like the river. I never would have thought of that, but I am so glad they thought of that, because you would not believe how many times in the originals and all the Animal Crossing games, I just wanted to get somewhere and you had to go all the way around just to find a bridge. I hope bridges are still a thing in the game. Like I hope you can make bridges and whatnot. But being able to cross anywhere without the use of a bridge is incredible. Like, why did they not do this before now? And why did we not, like, wow, I never thought of asking for it, but now I feel like we should have had this all along, you know? I never would have thought of it, but I'm glad they did. Looks great. It looks really fun to use. Like, I'm just excited about this new item, and it's going to make the game so much more convenient. But yeah, outside of that, there was, apparently a phone now. We got the Nook phone. They kind of name dropped it and you kind of saw briefly in the trailer. I'm wondering if that's how they do the Pocket. Instead of the Pocket, we're going to have our Nook phone or something. Or maybe that's how they're going to handle like inviting friends. Or like, I just wonder what it's going to do. Because there's a lot of possibilities. It could just be used for friend codes and inviting friends over to your town and whatnot. Or maybe ordering furniture. Or maybe just like talking to your villagers in your town. Or it could just, again, replace the Pocket altogether. I could see that actually happening. Or I could see replacing the mail, which honestly, I don't know. I could see that happening, but I don't know. And now, shovels can completely take down trees. That's something else I want to talk about. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm real here. Don't know how I feel. I feel like I should be happy because that's convenience. And I want convenience in Animal Crossing. But that just feels like it kind of makes the axe pointless. Unless if you want a tree stump, which it's hit or miss. It depends on what you want for your town. But really, what's the point of the axe now? Outside of making tree stumps, there's no point for it. If you could just use your shovel to do it, I mean, there's no point. So that's like a minor critique of mine. I just feel like it is more convenient, but I feel like it also makes another item completely and utterly useless now. So I just feel like it was better the way it was. They're gonna have to make the axe much more important, because it already wasn't one of the more important items, unless you're trying to cut down trees and then, you know, use your shovel. But if you don't need it for that, unless you want stumps, I mean, there's not much of a point. So I hope they figure out something else they can do with it. And like one thing I'm so thankful for, we'll finally be able to make our own paths in our town the way we want, you know, because like the older games and I think it was City Folk, you could the like way you walked in your town, like whatever ways you ran would create those pathways, but like it was incredibly flawed and would completely mess up your town if you're not careful. And I think they did the same thing with New Leaf, but I could never seem to get it to work on mine, even though I put a couple hundred hours into my town. So it's nice they're finally just gonna let us do it ourselves and make it the way we want and change it whenever we want. That is, again, they're making the game much more convenient. I'm so glad for that. Like, that is one that was definitely a wish list for me, and it sounds like a lot of other Animal Crossing fans. Like, it wasn't something we had to have, but it was something that we all wanted. So I'm glad they are listening to the fans on that one. That's something that should have been in the games to begin with, and I'm glad they finally did it. And like the final really big thing I've noticed, well, there's two. One is, it looks like the ATM or the Nook's point thing, I think it's the Nook's point machine from the older games, is back. I saw it kind of briefly in Tom Nook's tent. Happy about that. I hope it works like Fortune Cookies worked in the older games. Wild World, I think it is, and especially City Folk, where you can get Nintendo themed items. I want it to work like that again, like be a point system to get Nintendo themed items instead of just ordering furniture for sake of. That's just a personal thing, but like I just really enjoyed it a lot more that way, so I hope that that's what it's for. But again, we barely saw it. It was just like in the background. Who knows? It could not be there in the final game. We don't know. But yeah, finally, this game's going to have a lot of multiplayer. In one shot alone, you can see about 8 or 9 people in that town. The most you could have in other Animal Crossing games was like 4 people. They're doing a lot with multiplayer. And I assume it's online, but like, wouldn't it be awesome if they finally did local multiplayer on a console Animal Crossing game? Split screen. Like, that's what I'm kind of hoping they're implying with this. Again, like, I doubt it. They probably won't, because they seem to hate local multiplayer for Animal Crossing, but like, that would be so incredible. If instead, like, if you were sharing a town with someone, or in this case, an island, you could both play at the same time. That's what I want. And with them bringing in this more multiplayer focused Animal Crossing, I am hoping that that's what they're pointing towards. They're kind of going towards that instead of just online only, or everyone's got to have a Switch and Animal Crossing game to do it. But yeah, those are just like initial thoughts of the trailer. Like, these are like the first thoughts that came into my head while watching it. And overall, I am really happy with the game. I am happy also that it's delayed. Like, I know I talked about it in a video a while back. It was actually my most controversial video ever, of all things. Talking about how like I felt like the game was going to be delayed and all. And it was, and I am okay with that. Like, yeah, it's sad that we're not getting the game this year, and I'm okay with it. It feels like if they feel like they need more time with the game, they need more time with the game. No Animal Crossing game should be rushed. In Animal Crossing, with the exception of the spin-offs, which Happy Home Designer is a good game, and Pocket Camp is a pretty fun one. The only one that's really an issue is, you know, Amiibo Festival. Like, aside of those, the main series games have yet to really be bad. Like, I don't know how they can mess up an Animal Crossing game, aside of it just being really unfinished. Like, really buggy, just really terrible. That's the only way I can see it being bad. So, if they feel like they need more time with it, more power to them. Let them have more time. I do not think not having Animal Crossing this year is going to make or break the Nintendo Switch enjoyment for anyone. And also, like, March is a fine time for it. It's right before, you know, spring. It's like right when spring's hitting, and like, and then you'll have all the holidays of next year for Animal Crossing. that's really good timing for it. I think, March 20th, good timing for the game. So I'm happy with that. I kind of wish it came out this year. I was hoping I was wrong and they'll be like perfectly finished and all, but if it's not, again, let them finish it. I don't see a problem there. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think of the game in the comments below. And as always, this is AdventureBlur. And I'll see you next time. Once I get over that Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, because that's still going through my mind. It's going to be a while till I get over that in Animal Crossing, but both really, but especially that. It's going to be a while.